Hello again. We have discussed keyword parameters in previous video, and now we will talk about an option which this feature opens up for us, namely default parameters. So when we were discussing keyword arguments, you have seen that during function call you can specify argument by explicitly telling Python to which parameter this value should be assigned. What you can do now is define define a value which will be assigned to this parameter by default. You can change it later on if you want to, but if you don't want to, this default value will be used. So let's have a look. So this is like in general how it looks like. These two arguments are just positional arguments, and these arguments are defined with a default value. And we will have a look at an example. So an example will concern exchange rate. So imagine that you want to go to an exchange to exchange some money. As a client, usually the rate is often specified or is often similar at the different exchanges. Usually there is a spread for this exchange, and you just specify what is the amount of money you want to exchange. Most of the time the rate is fixed, but sometimes it might happen that if you are exchanging much more money than usual customers, then maybe you will have some discount on the rate, or maybe the spread will be smaller. But by default, they are usually the same for all of the clients. So what you can do in Python is you can define a function, exchange rate, which simply calculates what you should get for your amount. So amount of Polish zlotys you divide by the rate, and then you just have to multiply this result, considering this. You have to take into account the spread, and this function, as you probably remember, just rounds up the result, so that you have only two digits after the dot. Let's run this example right now. So Python 3, maybe let's clear the terminal first. So Python 3 exchange rate .py, and we can see that the result is we get 427.4 Polish zlotys, US dollars, for 2,137 zlotys. What happened here? When we were defining the function, we have already specified, we have already told Python that our rate by default is 4.75 and the spread is 0.05. This is why when we were calling this function here, we did not have to specify these parameters again. We didn't have to, but we could have. So for instance, if we wanted the rate to be higher, for instance 4.8, we can do it. I can save this file right now, and you will see that I should get less dollars. And yes, this is indeed true. I get less dollars. If I increase the spread, I should get even less dollars. So as you can see, I can specify the default arguments, but I do not have to do this. And if I don't do it, they take the default value. I do not have to, just like with keywords arguments, I do not have to specify them in order. I can do it like this. I can specify rate after I specify spread. So sorry, something is wrong. I guess I have incorrect amount of brackets here. No, sorry, here it should be comma. So everything should be fine right now. Yeah, so as you can see, I can specify here the spread was 0.1. So here, as you can see, I get the same, exactly the same result as before, but I specified spread and rate in different order. I can choose only to specify some of the default arguments, as you have already seen, but it doesn't have to be only rate. I can specify only spread, and then the rate will take the default value. As you can see, I can run this script now and get some other value. As you can see, I get more dollars because my default rate is smaller than 4.8, which I have used before, and so on and so on. So basically, when you know what are keyword arguments, you can also define default arguments, and all of the and then you can change this value of these default arguments, but you don't have to. And all of the rules which we have discussed when we were discussing keyword arguments also apply. You first have to define positional arguments, and then you can define keyword arguments. You cannot define one argument using both positional and keyword methods at the same time, and so on and so on. So yeah, this summarizes keyword and default parameters section. And in the next section, we will discuss how you can define function which can take arbitrary number of arguments. So, and arbitrary arguments in general. So basically, you can define a function. Sometimes you want to define a function which you don't know beforehand how many arguments you want to take, and this is what we will discuss in the next video. So thank you for your attention in this video, and see you in the next one.